Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender. Me, myself, and I play through the main event scenario. Game is published by GMT Games, uh, designed by Salvatore Vasta. We're getting ready to go into the Western operations phase of February 1945. The weather is poor everywhere, and we will get right to it. I'm going to go start my timer so I don't run over it by too much and see what we can do. This is one of those things. Well, I got to do this no matter what. So this convoy goes into Southampton. That's one sortie, and then he's going to pick up the 1st Canadian and end in Antwerp for another sortie. So he will have 2 more sorties on him. Just because I can, I'm going to move the Med Fleet over here into Toronto, I guess. And then I'm going to take the 8th Fleet that's in Palermo, and he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and end in Antwerp along with the fleet. And take a sortie. And just because I'm being OCD, I'm going to move the home fleet to Plymouth. Have it take a sortie. 4th fleet's going to move to Nantes, take a sortie. And then home fleet's going to move back here and take a 2nd sortie. So there. Now, British are escorting British. Americans are escorting Americans. And, all that kind of silliness. Just let my OCD out and reign supreme. Okay, now I can actually go do like real stuff. I'm kind of smushed here in Italy. I don't think the Germans can get very good attacks on me anymore. So I'm thinking I might as well just go ahead and get this back, and then I could have a... Do I want to keep trying to go over the Alps? That's the question. I have to leave units here so that he has to leave at least a few units here to garrison me. He's going to be able to pull back probably 2 of these infantry to go elsewhere. And I think the American 5th Army is going to be better used on the Western Front. So I'm going to have it go do this. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This American airplane can still mess with German airplanes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to Hanover. Unless he moves them away, in which case he's using up a sortie, which is the same thing. And then if he doesn't nail me, then I can fly over to the west and become useful over there, maybe, in the future. So that's what we're going to try to do here. There's no German airplanes to deal with here in the west, so I can just do what I want. Okay, looks like we're going to try and do the same thing we did last turn. Let's see if it works. So, we are going to play the American surprise attack marker. This might be not the right thing to do, but I'm going to try it anyway, because I can get it right back. It'll be back in June. I'm going to place it in the same place I did before, Dusseldorf. And then we're going to clear some assaults here. The British are going to spend 3. To activate him, do their assaults there. The Americans will be doing the same thing that they did before. And this thing is activated. I spent 2 to move him. I'm not taking off my points. Aren't you people yelling at me, telling me to not take off my points there? Okay. I think I just snoozed that rather than dismissed it, so it's probably going to go off again. It's a different alarm. We're assaulting this hex here. Now the question is, before I go ahead and resolve any of these assaults, I could drop my airdrop marker on this auction, but I'm thinking I want the airdrop marker to help me when fair weather to get through like a river and maybe make something be like a no enemy zone of control so that I can move beyond it and surround stuff. So I'm thinking I'm going to not do that. Yeah, that seems to be the better choice here. Oh dear. What do I do? Well, let's do it like we did the last time, I guess. And I'll look at the Americans here. They have start off with whoever this is. That's the 3rd. So that's Patton's army. He's going to be the primary. So he's +1 because he's American, +1 because he's armored. He has 2 armored buddies adding into the assault, so that's +1, +2. So that's the 2 armoreds. I get +1 from the surprise attack marker. He does have a tanks marker left, I believe. So he could throw tanks in there to make that +5. Oh dear. I can throw in an airplane to get an extra +1. I could throw free forces to get an extra +1. So that could take me up to 8, 9, down to 7. He would be... See, he's +2 for German, +1 for elite right now. I'd be -2. So even if I went up to 9, I'd get back down to -7. And then he could be at a 4. +7 to a +4. I was thinking of using it to hold off the Russians. Dilemmas. I'm trying to figure out if I should throw the Western Allies. Could drop the paratrooper there. That would make him only a +1. Which could lead to a big retreat, but then I might lose the para or not have it back for fair weather turns. I'm going to go conservative, I guess. We will do combat commitment. The Germans... He's +3. Do I really want to throw the tank here? Or do I need the tank over here in the east? There's a 3-hex attack on Warsaw. There's a 3-hex attack on the 11th. Don't care about the garrison. 2 garrisons might die, then isolating the 2nd Panzer. That could be a problem. That could be a real big problem. Dang it. I think I'm going to need it probably on the 11th to try and hold the gate open for the 5th Panzer. Or maybe on the 18th. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to have to save it for the East. So the Germans do not commit. Sorry I had to ramble through that. But so the West did commit. They're going to go ahead and throw this airplane, since they have a preponderance of airplanes to throw around right now. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 for the airplane is +8. He's at +3, and then I'm -1 for the weather, -1 for city. Right now I'm +6 to +3. I could throw either free forces or an altar marker to give you an extra +1. See, told you it was only paused. There, I think I dismissed it this time. That sounds like... I think I want to be +7. So what do I want to use? I think I'm going to go ahead and throw... Let's throw the free forces. So I'll throw free forces in with that attack. So that gives me an extra +1. So now I'm +7. So it's 2 for this armor, because he's 1 for American, 1 for an armored. +2 for an armored makes +4. +2 for another armored is +6. +1 for the surprise is 7. +1 for the airplane is 8. +1 for the free forces is 9. And then -1 for the weather, and -1 for the hex that he's in. So it's +7 to +3. And the Americans roll. Before, +7 is an 11. The Germans roll. 3 + 3 is a 6. And an 11 to a 6. Well, that elite helped the German. It did not DD him, but it did retreat him. So he only has one legal retreat route. He has to go there. I will take it with the 1st Army. And in so doing, some things happen. This comes that. And now Aachen is a city and a factory. So we go to the national tracks. A city makes him lose 2 willpower, and his factory count goes down by 1. So there's that. So that's something. I don't want to give him back this city, so I think I'm going to stop my attacks here for the Americans. The British, I can still play it here, so I think I'm going to, maybe the last time I get to play it, I'm going to put the partisans on there before I resolve anything as an action. So that makes the Germans now at a 0. They could throw their tank in to become +1. The British right now are +1 because they're, let's do this. +1 for the British, +1 because he's armor. He has a buddy who's going to definitely get a tanks marker, but right now he's +1. If I throw in a tank and an airplane, I'd get to +5 and then -2. And he would be at best a +1. Because right now he's +2 because he's German, then -2 for the partisan. So it'd be a +3 to a 0. It's going to be kind of the same thing we did last time, isn't it? Okay. So right now we're at a +3 to a 0. Go to combat commitment. Again, the Germans are like, the East has got a bigger hole to stop than the West. This is a 1 hex across the strait, and I have a decent attack probably next turn to push him back across. Hold the Rhine. So we're going to let it go with the Germans. The Allies will be doing a commit because they have to throw in at least the airplane. And they are going to do both. They're going to throw in the British tank there, and this airplane go up to 2 sorties. And so that's 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5. So that's +5, -3, or -2, because 1 for the weather and 1 for going across the river. So it's +3 to 0. It's the best I can get. I could throw like the ultra marker here, but that would probably not be a good idea. Oh, I threw free forces, didn't I? I threw free forces. Before I do this, I need to roll the free forces. Free forces for the Americans comes back in 3 turns. Hello, turn track. Where are you? So 1, 2, 3. It'll be back in May. So at least we'll get them back. All right. So it's +3 to +0. The British roll. A 1 +3 is a 4. Germans roll. A 5. So I don't even move them out of the hex. How annoying. All right. Well, I seem to always roll a 1 for the Allies somewhere. Western Allies had some very good luck early on, but lately have not been able to push anything. He's going to have a 3x attack back on Aachen. There's nothing I can do about it. And let's see, I think that's might be the West activations. Do we have anything down here? Any pot shots? Let's see, it'd be 1, 2, and 3. -2 would be +1 to 0. I could get a 7, he could get a 1 and eliminate him. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. So that's 2, 3 more off the British national tracks. They're down to 30. They're assaulting this guy. And so it's +2 for British, +1 for a buddy. I don't have any more tanks markers. I can throw in my airplane, which I think I'll do. So that gives me an extra +1. A +4, and then I'm -1 for weather, -1 for the ridge, and -1 for the hex he's in. So I'm +1 to 0. I need to roll high with the British. 3 + 1 is a 4. I guess if he rolls a 1 or 2, he'll retreat. He rolled a 6 and says, nah, we aren't going anywhere. Okay, so that was a waste, but you gotta try. And I still have the British surprise attack marker. Still have a mulberry. What am I going to do with a mulberry? So I'm going to have to wait for the American stuff to come back in May and June. Unless something, if I get a clear weather turn before then, in April or May, I'll use the British surprise attack marker to try and take advantage of it. Yeah, so the Germans are saving their thing for the East. Okay. I believe that's everything for the Americans in the West. So we just have to check. Everybody can trace to various ports. So I just have to count. Right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. I've already counted him, so I don't have to do him. But, so then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, I'm not done yet. Hold on. Forgot to run my bombers. Sorry. I always forget that I get to do this. So I'm going to drop 1 there, drop 1 there. The British bomber will drop 1 in Berlin, 1 in Hanover for 2 sorties. And the Americans will take 2 sorties as well, and throw a couple more bombed markers. So I had 2 from there, 2 for the British. Yeah, I get another one off the turn track. I have 6 bombed markers this turn. Then we'll throw them in Dusseldorf and Frankfurt. So +8. Minimum gets a 9, no matter what the German rolls. As long as I can have 6 bomb markers on him, no matter what he rolls, he will lose a factory. So I will keep him at 9, hopefully. So I just have to remember to keep doing that. Okay. And there's 10 units here, if I count it right. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, and then we're going to go back down here in the Mediterranean, and we're going to put these 2 British ones up 1 more, so that that's my 10 total. And these guys will all go down to 3s at the end of the turn when we do that. These guys will all go back to 2s, including this one up here, and then I can do my 10 up here. My 6 down there, and be just fine for a little while until I have to bring more airplanes in. I'll just have to deal with that as we deal with it. I won't flood the thing with airplanes until I get to like fair weather, when I can just use all the extra pluses and things. So where am I at on my timer? Yeah, I'm just about done with the British, time-wise. So I think that's all I can do. Oh, this guy didn't move, so I'm just getting him unhighlighted. And then the partisans have to come off and get rolled for 6. If I remember right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the August turn, which means they'll never come back. But I'll just put them there for convenience sake, just to know that I can never get them. So, no more partisans for the West. Too bad. So sad. Alright. Okay. That's it. That's all I can do. So, that there was the Western Operations phase of February 1945. We did take another factory city, although the Germans may recapture it in their turn, because they'll have a 3x attack on it. Depends on what the weather becomes. Yeah. That's the Western Operations phase for February 1945. I'm Dren608. If you like my videos, please subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. We will return with the Soviet operations phase in a little bit. Until then, bye-bye.